What are the Atlanta Hawks up to now? Now, they got a lot going on. Vít Krejci is back. Everybody leave comments down below. Say, let's go, Vít. But in this video, I'm going to tell you the moves, the more recent small moves that the Atlanta Hawks have made and what this means for their future. Because like I keep saying, they are not done. And they making some small moves and some small things to help them for the future. Now, big one. Big couple, but big one. Vít Krejci has re-signed with the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I know he's a fan favorite. I know he may not be the Paul George or the Brandon Ingram, but his re-signing was pretty big for the Atlanta Hawks because they got him for so dang cheap. 4-year, $10.2 million contract is what Brad Rowland from Locked On Sports is saying that might be in the realm of. It's essentially a vet min for Vít Krejci. Now, a lot of people say that's actually dirt cheap for him, especially from a player who came into his own at the end of the season, and he's a player that could develop to be a pretty decent role player / bench player for the Hawks in the near future. The Atlanta Hawks also signed Seth Lundy to a 2-way deal. I know there's not many people in there saying, let's go, but that is something that means they are allowed to have 3 more 2-way roster spots. 3 or 2, I think 2 more. I think there's 3 total, 2 more 2-way roster spots. But Seth Lundy being on the 2-way roster is pretty decent for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, big other moves. Unfortunately, Saddiq Bey signed with the Washington, whatever we call them, because we're not their friends. They took Alex R. But they signed for a 3-year, $20 million deal. And a lot of people are saying, we love Saddiq. We missed him. We wish the Atlanta re-sign him. At that price, Atlanta was not going to re-sign him. The Atlanta Hawks were hoping that the market on Saddiq Bey was so far down that they could kind of swoop in, sign him for that 3-year deal. But I'm guessing they wanted to be around that 12 to 14 million. Probably 12 million. And to be honest, Saddiq Bey going for 12 million is an absolute steal, regardless of if he's hurt or not. And if the Atlanta Hawks were able to get him, then that would have been something different. But it did not. He ended up going to Washington. And I want to say congrats, Saddiq Bey. And I want to say I'm actually looking forward to Saddiq and his time in another team. He will rehab. And honestly, he'll get more minutes because the Atlanta Hawks, if you start to look at their roster, there's a lot of good talent. And I'm not sure who they're going to play. And I know Saddiq Bey is a very big, strong wing who struggled last year in shooting. But he would have, I think, found a spot on the roster. But I think it's for him, going forward, it would have been a lot easier for him to play on Washington than it would have been in Atlanta. Now, a lot of people are probably going to argue with me in the comments, but that's just true in my opinion. Now, another big move for the Atlanta Hawks. August 1st is the new extension date for Bruno Fernando. That's essentially meaning that the Atlanta Hawks, which they were supposed to make a move July 11th, where Bruno Fernando either guarantee him or cut him, have extended that out to August 1st. And there's a lot of benefits to this. But number one, we'll go on Bruno Fernando's side. I think that Bruno Fernando is not having a lot of value in the market right now because if another team wanted to sign him, they wouldn't push out this date. Bruno Fernando would be like, thanks, but just go ahead and cut me. I'll find another team. So I think he wants to be in Atlanta, and I think Atlanta wants to actually retain him. But in the grand scheme of things, the Atlanta Hawks don't know what they're going to do at center right now at this point, and I think they're mulling the idea of trying to figure out what their future is. And I know they want to keep Bruno Fernando, and if they want to keep him, they have to trade, cut, get rid of at least 1 to 2 centers already on the roster. And that's Clint Capella, Onyeka Okongwu, Cody Zeller, or Larry Nance. One of those. Now, I think moving that back gives them time to decide what their next move is. It also gives them time to see what deals they're filling in. But I think the Atlanta Hawks, like I said, are not done. because they have one or two more moves up the sleeve. Even Landry Fields came out and said, we have to make the tough decisions going forward. And I think they're going to make a very, 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 very tough decision in regards to their center position. Do they keep Onyeka? Do they trade Onyeka? Do they keep Clint, extend Clint, which I know a lot of people are not even thinking about, but they can extend Clint to a contract. Or do they just get rid of both of those guys, running back with Larry Nance, and get a serviceable big in the future? Now, I think that they'll probably keep Onyeka. They want to build around him. They have a lot of value around him. They'll get rid of Clint, and they'll probably get rid of Cody, and then they'll probably retain Bruno, if I had to guess. But I do know that one of those centers are going to be gone. But the Atlanta Hawks were smart, and they moved it out to August 1st, so we won't really see much until August 1st. Also, I would like to say summer ball, the summer tournament, whatever you want to call it, for the Atlanta Hawks is coming up, and I'm excited to see Ricochet. There's a lot going on. Apparently, they picked up another Mo Gay, maybe. We'll see. But in regards to moves, those are the big moves that the Atlanta Hawks have made right now. I'm telling you, I would not rest knowing that the Atlanta Hawks still have moves to be made, because they will make a move that will kind of shock everybody, but we'll look at it and be like, that really wasn't that bad. So, as of now, those are the moves they made. I will say big one, beat Krejci, 4 years for some chump change. It's a big, big, big one. Sorry to see Saddiq go, but the Atlanta Hawks were never prepared to pay that 3-year, $20 million. I'm just being honest. They want to stay underneath that luxury cap. Seth Lundy, welcome back, and be prepped to see one of the centers move, because they have to. But it's not as much as a time crunch, because they bumped back Bruno Fernando's date to August 1st. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. If you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.